I hope we're ready. Can you see us? Can you see us? Are we 5x5, everybody? Can you see us? Are you seeing us? We had a change of plans this evening.
We did.
We were going to go to a movie. We were going to have date night, and then let me tell you that story. That's always a good one. But we're glad to be with you. Yes, concatenation. Did you look it up, Dick? Look up the word concatenation. Be surprised at people who say, "What? Did you look it up?" No. Well, why didn't you look it up? Yeah. We were going to go see a movie tonight, and we looked. And it's kind of one of these new, not artsy, but it's a new theater, and they have a bigger theater and a smaller theater. And we thought, oh, the bigger one, this looks good, because we didn't realize, but at 7:45, it was going to be in the little one. And there's no way we're going to be stuck in this tiny room. No, can't do that. Can't do that.
Well, there's 12 seats in there.
There's 12 seats.
I don't want to be stuck next to it.
Plus, they have these people who come in and they always... Hi, everybody. My name is Julius. I'm going to be... If you need any drinks, hit that thing. I say, would you please... I can't understand you. You're talking through this.
They mean well. They're working. I give them credit. I thought I would just come and hang with you, as the kids say, and just after a long week since we didn't go to the movie.
I hate that. May I start off by just saying we're going to be a little bit light tonight, just to join us?
We must.
Would you please tell me, why is everybody calling me dude? Why is it, hey, dude?
Are they calling you that?
Yeah.
Because they're calling me dude, which I take great offense to. And I think even if I was 20 years old, I'd take great offense to being called dude.
I have a friend of mine who is my age. I've known him since I was 8 years old. He's a physician. He says, dude. I said, no, whoa.
I correct people too.
No, dude, no. And may I say, can we just bitch and moan tonight? Would you please tell me why you'll call somebody and they say, the whatever has not set up their phone yet, or they set up their voicemail? You have, or the mailbox is full. What's the matter with you? Or they say, well, I don't read emails. Did you answer my email? No.
Well, let's switch subjects. I can't even talk.
Subjects?
I can't get the word.
You sound like Carol Channing.
I know, but I just finished.
Or Liza Minnelli.
Well, I just finished my 2-hour radio program, and
it was a great one, too.
On a Friday, I can't talk anymore, but we must. Let's talk about all day long. People were saying in the media to me, and I was hearing Happy Memorial Day. And I was busy correcting everybody and saying not to be, so... but I was saying, well, let's review the true meaning of Memorial Day. And then I would go into my explanation, and nobody was answering me or anything like that. It was just about, we're going to the beach. I spoke to somebody from AAA who said more cars are taking onto the road since 2005. This is the biggest of, I think it was 43 million people, he said, hitting the road, going within 50 miles. And he was saying Happy Memorial Day, and I was asking about. I was asking what do you think the future will be with AI and self-driving cars? And I wasn't getting far. I wasn't getting far.
It was brutal.
I was asking good
I'm listening
questions.
to this.
I was asking good questions.
First, let me just stop for a second. Stop for a second. Eric Thaddeus Walters joined us. They do. Women, she has one who calls her dude.
In business, by the way. It's not a friend or anything. It's in a business meeting. She's calling me.
What is this business?
I find it offensive. It's something about that gets me very upset.
Number one, do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that sometimes going faster, having these 55-mile-an-hour speed limits are ridiculous. If you have faster, a la the Autobahn and others, even though you might technically be going faster, it's actually more fuel economical because you get there faster. There's less problems. Highways are not meant to be driven at 55. Don't get me started with that.
Well, that's here, and some of them are 65 here. California, though, you have, 80, 85 in other areas. I know Colorado's higher. I asked him about that as well. I didn't seem to get a very clear answer on that.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll talk about this show. That's the one that matters.
No, we're talking about the fuel, and we're talking about...
A long story short, do you still talk to Curtis and or Ron? Ron? I do not talk to Curtis and or Ron. Curtis, I do not. I've not spoken to Curtis in years. Even when he was running for mayor, I don't know why he got kind of just I don't know. He never did. And then he went to this feral cat thing. Curtis Lewa, by the way, is he's the head of the Guardian Angels, has his own radio show. I think he's still doing it. Might be doing it with
you
Anthony
spoke to him,
Wynn.
I think, before COVID. Then COVID happened, and nobody was speaking to anybody.
I texted him. Never calls. He's not very loquacious.
I think you met him on the street one time.
Maybe.
Right.
But then when he was running for mayor, I was all for it compared to this jadrule we have now. But he all of a sudden married a woman who's into cats, and he went from this thing about cats. Oh, here I am, Mr. Peepers. Now I'm an ailerophile to an extent, but I said, listen, this is the city of New York. We got big problems here. Nobody talks about feral cat kill shelters, so I don't know what the hell that's about. So the answer is no. Ron, I guess Ron Kuby. Have not spoken with Ron in years. Daniel says, my high school students call me bro, bruh, brah, and dude.
Students?
Student, yeah.
What happened to Mr., Mrs., and Miss? They don't do that anymore?
No, they don't do that one.
Oh.
Would you talk about Tina Turner, please?
I feel bad about Tina Turner, and I don't... I think I feel bad because it brings me back to 1984. It brings me back to when that CD came out. It brings me back to the music videos. It brings me back just to that time period. I was thinking today, why do I feel so bad? And I do want to point out...
You don't want to go back to 1984, do you?
No, I don't want to go back.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying, you were young. You remember the music. I remember running around, New York. It was a whole different mindset. But I do want to say something about Tina Turner. She was one of the ultimate survivors of domestic violence.
Oh.
And she really did...
But
she really did a lot of good behind the scenes that the public probably will never know about. But she was the ultimate one of them in her final escape and then living with the trauma for the rest of her life. So
what was the story with what was it, Beyonce? Something she made some comment or something? Did you read this?
Oh, they got into some sort of cat fight about something because I think Beyonce at one point, if I recall, something about she and the husband, what's his name, Jay-Z, mentioned Ike or something on a stage or something about they gave credit to Ike, knowing the story was out there about Tina being so violently and viciously abused by him for years. And, things like thrown out of cars and
here we go.
Set on fire.
Tina Turner, Beyonce. Anyway. Tina Turner fans have turned on Jay-Z. This is from the New York Post, page 6. Turned on Jay-Z and Beyonce over a song lyric that mocks the late singer's abusive history with ex-husband Ike Turner.
Something about that Ike.
In the couple's 2013 hit duet track Drunk in Love, Jay-Z raps, "Beat the box up like Mike in 97 I bite. I'm Ike Turner. Turn up, baby. No, I don't play. Baby, no, I don't play. Now eat the cake, Anna Mae."
What are you reading?
Said eat the cake, Anna Mae.
The worst lyrics.
You don't write them. You know who'd be Robert Goulet would be great with this. This is moronic. This is just. I'm sorry. It's just. Oh. You were very upset when Wap Snappy was what's his name?
Fetty Wap.
Fetty.
No, but I brought it up the other day. People didn't know what I was talking about. 6 years.
You're the hippest person.
Nobody seems to ever know what I'm talking about.
You know all.
If you read everybody a few things on the computer, you find these things out. I don't know what's wrong with everybody.
But also, we know the stupidest people. We want to do a TV show where we bring people out. They don't know why they're on. They think that we're interviewing them.
That's not
And
true.
then you got to figure out, why are they stupid? Like, when do you, like, you hit a buzzer or something when you realize that they're really stupid? You have no idea. And I don't want to say too much because they might be watching. But stupid, profound.
Your people are smart, good, happy people.
Our
okay?
people, excuse me, our people.
Okay, our people. I'm crashing tonight on a Friday night.
Tina,
but,
we're not going to do this all night long. Tina Turner, by the way, taught Mick Jagger how to dance. Tina Turner sold more.
Guinness World Book of Record for her concert in Rio, 180,000 packed the stadium. We don't have those kind of stadium. And don't believe this hype about Taylor Swift and people paying 20,000 a ticket or whatever those stories are. All PR, all spin, all marketing, which makes the world go round. But we don't have, that's what I miss. We don't have 60,000 in a stadium going to see, Jackson 5 over at the, I still call it Giant Stadium. I'm not sure what the name is these days.
Did you see Jackson 5?
Several times.
I saw him.
But I saw in the early 80s, I would go back and see. Remember, we had like Tina Turner, we had Michael Jackson, we had Cyndi Lauper, we had Madonna, all.
Tell me some of your concerts. Tell me some of your big concerts you saw.
Me? I just named
Tommy
them.
Dorsey.
What are you implying? I'm old?
No.
Thank you.
No.
No.
Rudy Valley.
No, those were
biggies.
and when I was in high school, there was, in the 70s at one point, there was sort of this retrospective, like going back to the 50s. Maybe that was getting into those Happy Days, the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
There was all that. Oh, what was the movie we started watching?
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti. I guess we
Loved
fell.
it.
I guess we fell asleep.
We always fall.
Okay.
Always,
It was
always.
the other. It wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 weeks ago.
We should do. We ought to do
movie reviews.
No, yes, movie review. But we never see the end of it because we fall asleep. Well,
true.
we don't know. If anybody saw the end of this,
No,
right
we
as-
decided to have some light entertainment. So you said, "Oh, I know, American
Gone.
Graffiti."
I loved it.
But
Loved
it was
that.
I'm trying to get to. It was that point, and I think Happy Days was a spin-off of that.
Yes.
Laverne and Shirley. But I'm talking. I remember coming into the city to go to Madison
excuse
Square
me,
Garden.
when-
There was a 50s extravaganza. It was like a whole bunch of acts.
Let me just stop right there. Happy Days
Mm-hmm.
came from an episode of Love American Style.
That's right. I forgot about that. But you're right. I used to
Ronnie-
watch. Did you watch that show, Love American Style?
Oh, Friday nights.
I used to love
Love
it.
American Style.
No, but I
Truer
loved it.
than the red, white, and blue.
Well-
Who did the song? Who did it? You know?
I know who did it, but I don't want to ruin it for
Okay, so
everybody.
first one to get it wins something. I don't know. We don't win anything. Who did Love American
No, we'll
Style?
send them a mug. We'll send them a mug.
No, we're not going to send mugs. No, because then we got to go to the store. We're not going to send
Well,
any
I'll do
mugs.
it. I'll do it.
No, we got to go to the post. No, please. And then we're going to forget. And
I'm
then
not gonna
then somebody's going to get upset. No, we'll just send you a love. Who did it? Come on, who did it? Lawrence Welk. Correct. Myron Florin and Joe Feeney. Did you ever watch that with your grandparents? Did you ever watch?
Did Love American Style?
Lawrence Welk. Okay, Love American. I don't have time.
I
for this.
used to watch Lawrence Welk Saturday night, right? I was very little. Bless you. Bless you, bless you.
Captain Clockwork, the Cowsills. Thank you.
That's it, the
Correct.
Cowsills.
They were damn good. We saw them.
Well, we did see them right before
The Rona.
the Co. It was right before. It was my birthday, as a matter of fact. That's when we saw them. on my
Let's go
birthday.
back. Friday night, the Wild Wild West. Bum, 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 ba, da, 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 da. Artemis Gordon, remember that? Jim West. Remember Miguelito Loveless, Michael Dunn?
Did you ever watch things like Medical Center?
Yes,
I
Chad
might-
Everett.
I might have been like
and
in the fourth
James
grade.
Daly, who was Tyne Daly's father.
Right, but I might have been like in the 4th, 5th grade, whenever that was. Medical Center.
Medical Center?
Those kind of shows. And that
How
remember,
mu-
Sunday night. Remember those shows used to rotate? It would be like Telly Savalas.
Well, it was Kojak.
Who was the one who rode the horse through New York? He wore like a cowboy.
Dennis,
I'm losing my mind. I can't.
Dennis,
I see him.
not Hooper, Dennis
No.
Weaver. Dennis Weaver.
There was
He
like a
did-
series. There were a
yeah.
bunch of, and they would change. That was the
Kojak
70s.
said one time, he said, I'm going to scatter your brains from here to White Plains. Oh, that was, remember Crocker? What? Remember poor Crocker had to
That
do all
was
these.
good 50 years ago. I like
Crocker had to do all these jobs. Crocker was the Dano. Book him, Dano. Dano, what? He always did these stupid jobs. I go, why did you ask Stavros, who was his brother, George Savalas?
Yeah, that's his brother.
Dukes of Hazzard. How about Emergency?
Oh, yeah, I used to watch that.
Emergency.
Emergency.
Emergency was Bobby Short, who wrote what famous song? One of the greatest jazz songs ever. Bobby Short, married to, is it not Jill Ireland? Julie London.
Julie London.
Julie London, and I gotta sneeze here. Bobby
You're allergic to me.
Bobby Troop married Julie London, who was married to Jack Webb, and I think adopted his kids, and Jack Webb liked him or was so appreciative, put him on. He was the worst actor. Randy Mantooth, remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Randy Mantooth? But he wrote Route 66, Bobby Troop, one of the greats. Did you know that? You didn't know that. Oh, Friday nights, we're not done with that. Wild Wild West. Love American Style with the guy who played... He was in the Rockford Files. He played his Angel. He played the guy Angel. He was always...
Oh, I know. I know who you mean. I can see his face.
Yes.
Yeah, he had like the dark hair.
Then came Bronson, different story. Then came Bronson was, no, that's not... You're talking about whatever. Sunday night was Wonderful World of Disney, Ed Sullivan. Bonanza was what, Tuesday night?
Speaking of Disney.
Oh.
So I believe
Don't get
today
me started.
Their new version of The Little Mermaid came out. And
Great movie.
it's been around for years, The Little Mermaid. And
Don't tell me how it ends.
well known. But I am hearing that this version that they admit to costing $250 million, if they admit to that, you know it's more. I don't know exactly, but it's always more than they put out there. And they said it is beyond redemption. It is
horrible,
horrific.
Tell us some of the more...
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Tell us some of
because well, I want to say why it is, because they're trying with their diversity, inclusion, equity to put every character, what's female is male. They have they have mermen. They have
Ethel Merman.
Listen, adults do what you
Gotta
want.
dance.
Leave the children alone. That's what I have to say. Adults do it. Speaking of which.
Why? By the way, excuse me. Stuart Margolin was
That's
that
it.
actor.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Wild Kingdom was great with Hello Myron. Who is it? The old. It was Jim Fowler and Marlon Perkins. One time, remember? I think Robert Klein just he goes, and now Jim is going to be tackling the 20-foot python, the reticulator, while I watch
That sounds
safely
like
from this tree.
Julia.
And Jim would go out there and they, Marlon, help me, call for help. And you see this snake just wrapping around. I can't breathe. As you can see, Jim is unable to catch his breath. Marlon, help me.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
When didn't you say when you were a kid that Ed Sullivan scared you?
Yes, from the time I was as far back as I can remember. I might have been 2, 3, 4. I thought he looked, to me, I never told anybody, I thought he looked like a dead person.
That'd be funny.
I didn't even know what a dead person really looked like, but I thought he looked like...
Ed Sullivan scared me. By the way, someone, Liam Sandell writes, are you too young to remember Jackie Gleason on Saturday nights? Are you kidding me? Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason?
Of course. And no way. We go the June Taylor dancers.
From the 1953? I'm too young for that.
Saturday nights. Jackie Gleason in color when they would have... He was in Miami. Don't you remember this?
I don't know. I go back to like I Dream of Jeannie on I think it was a Saturday night too. I was
Master. Remember then when she was pregnant? They couldn't show her... They couldn't show her navel. Those shows seem so... I
don't know though. If you watch some of those shows, like I Dream of Jeannie now, you pick up a lot of innuendo.
Yes.
Which
is not an Italian suppository, by the way. Remember when we got onto this thing? Don't ask me why. Remember when we watched Peyton Place?
That was saucy.
Oh my God!
That was.
I can't.
My mother loved that show.
Do yourself a favor. You cannot believe what they got away with. Did you like Dark Shadows?
I loved it. I would rush home
Jonathan
from school.
Frid.
Well, they
did it. Barnabas Collins.
They did it live because I would. Sometimes you'd go to open the doorknob would fall off, or the door would shake, or things would happen, and
somebody writes Mannix.
Oh yeah, I'm still watching that.
You love the TV on.
No, but channel. What's it called? Me TV.
Yeah.
Mannix is still on like 3 in the morning.
If I say she's asleep and I turn it off, she's like, "What is it? You turn it off?" I'm watching that. You're not watching it. You're watching Barnaby Jones at 3
Watching
in the morning.
Mannix at 3 in the morning. Barnaby Jones, I love that one too.
But
it's light entertainment after the type of work we do. It's
who
mindless.
hired Mannix to do?
Peggy, he has that secretary.
Gail
Peggy,
Fisher was Peggy.
and they live in the office and the house for like that townhouse. No, I
Remember
think.
Barnaby Jones? He could do anything with that microscope.
Oh, I know.
And his daughter,
Susan St. James. That was the other one.
that was
part of
something. That was Rock Hudson.
Macmillan and Wife.
Macmillan and
oh,
Wife.
I used to love that one.
Remember when she was?
Cool.
He was. Well, was he kissing her? No, it was Linda Evans.
No, that
When
was,
he had AIDS, and he was kissing her a lot. Remember that one?
that's a whole nother subject.
Ben Casey never got anything. Never did.
The Fugitive is on now. I've been watching that.
Never.
Like 2, 3 in the morning.
David Jansen.
Yeah.
Never got into that.
We have that going on.
Never got into it. Streets of San Francisco. You remember
that's it.
Ironside?
I didn't really watch Ironside.
He had chili. He had these big cans of
I
chili.
didn't really watch it.
He had this big truck, but it was good. He was in a wheelchair, and he had this big truck. The Big Valley. Let me tell you something. Big Valley. Anybody who hung out with any of the Barclays died. Any woman. Poor Audra. How about? By the way, how about Peter? What was his name? Peter Breck, who played. He was not Heath, but who played Nick. He had all that leather. Remember that? He had that nice little necktie and the black.
The stories are so traumatizing.
And the
though,
leather
like
jacket and the leather this and the leather. And then Heath.
Well, entertainment. That's entertainment.
Lee Majors, one of the greatest actors of all time. Remember when Bonanza first started? By the way, side note here. Watch the scene from Tin Men. When Jackie Gale, they would have this diner scene. And Jackie Gale, the nightclub comic, who was very close friends with Lenny Bruce, said, "Do you ever watch Bonanza?" He had that lisp. "You ever watch Bonanza?" He said they were all 40 years old. They looked nothing like each other. He goes, "How are they kids?"
Oh,
He had Hoss, Dan Blocker, who's like 6'5", 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Little Joe. You had Adam, who just took off.
It's Hollywood.
Remember that?
It's
No, he just
imaginary.
left. Purnell
Roberts.
He just left.
Yeah,
who
he left.
was in Trapper John.
Yeah, that was a good
But
show,
he just
too.
left. Hop Sing, the coolie with the braid. Oh, Ben Cartwright.
Yeah.
What did they do on the Ponderosa?
Well, what else?
Mrs. L's hair looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Doesn't it look great?
Thank you. Thank you.
F Troop. What's with all the cowboy series in the 60s? I know. We have no...
No, didn't we hear something about it came out of the government? The
Yep.
Americana, they were
absolutely.
from out of the 40s of the war to the 50s into the 60s.
Absolutely.
It was putting forth this what's the word? Help me here.
Look at this. Liam Sandal said, "My sister was a huge Dr. Kildare fan. She once met Richard Chamberlain after a Broadway show. He kissed her hand, and she didn't wash it for a week."
You know, I saw him in Bloomingdale's one time in the tiniest shorts. It had to be about 1980. Now, remember men used to wear those shorts? They were like silky. No, silky with like...
Which is okay. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
but
they had those little
he
like
was-
slits up the sides, like little tiny...
No, I don't wear that.
I think they used to wear them to run back in the day.
Yeah.
And-
Run, all right.
It was unusual to see somebody
Certain
walk
neighborhoods,
through...
you got to run if you wear those songs.
Let me finish the story.
I'm sorry.
You didn't really see men walking in those kinds of shorts in New York
No.
in 1980,
And for good reason.
81. It was around 80, 81. And I remember he just strolled down the main aisle of Bloomingdale's here in New York with the tiniest little satin shorts. Remember the whole like disco satin shorts thing?
No. I don't.
And he had those on. That's all I want to say about
Who were
that.
some of the famous people you met when you were for some of your many jobs in department stores?
Oh, that's boring.
No. Just go, people that you saw. Jackie Kennedy you saw all the time.
Yeah. You don't see people on the streets
We really don't.
anymore. You used to always see what were considered celebrities in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even 2000s. You don't... I guess everybody's in there.
Well, who were some of the people that you...
Oh, I don't even know. I mean, I worked with a lot of people. In the music business, everybody in the music business, from Mick Jagger to Madonna, I don't even know what to say. All of them.
Weren't there
Cyndi
some people
Lauper,
they told you, don't mention it, well, maybe you can. Well, you can't look at them in their eyes.
No.
You can't.
Okay.
You can't. No. You can say it. No,
I'm
what
not
difference
saying
does it-
names.
No,
I'm
no.
not-
What
I'm
difference
not-
does it make?
I'm not
Can you
saying
imagine
names.
that? Don't look at them in the eyes. Like, who in the hell do you think you are? No,
but you would just see walking on Fifth and Madison, especially Upper East Side. You would see people used to walk. It was more normalized, and they would even say, different celebrities, "Oh, that's why we love New York. Nobody really bothers us
True.
too much."
John Lennon.
John Lennon was out all the time in Central Park, walking. Those days are over.
I
I don't see anybody anymore in the streets.
I used to go walking in Central Park with Tim McCarver was always there. Oh, certain things for me. At the Dags on 57th, across the street, right there, the Hudson Hotel. I think he might have lived there. Werner Klemper, Colonel Klink. We were at the Dags. I'm buying toilet paper. I looked over and said, "Ain't this something?"
I don't know if I
I'm
brag about
just
that
like
one.
this. I said, "Ain't this something?" He looks at me. I said, "Me and Colonel Klink buying toilet paper. What do you think, Klink?" I like the Charmin double. He was very, very nice. Saw Nipsey Russell, Georgia Engel was there.
Because they lived in
Mitch,
the
right
neighborhood.
there. Mitch Miller was in the
They're
neighborhood.
all dead now.
Oh yeah,
It's terrible.
they're all dead.
No, but we used to see
Another
them.
book of ours.
No,
Right.
we used to see them walking around a lot. Now, nothing.
Okay, all right.
Let's maybe
how about
we should
the
get,
disco?
We should get serious a little.
Tell them about the disco years. Studio 54.
No, it was terrific. I mean, that's what it was. It was a period in time. I'm glad I was around to witness it and be a part of certain things that
Sex
are no
in the
longer.
City and Fleetwood. Sex in the City was a great New York show. Did a
Listen.
lot for New York.
Okay, so the radio program I do, the studio's in Australia, where all the mechanics come from. I'm in New York City, and my co-host is in Texas. And so it's fast-moving and headlines, and of course children's issues, family issues, education, medical, in addition to headlines that we can talk about. And I try to give them the New York flavor. For instance, yesterday morning, 2 mornings ago, when the fleet, the ships were parading, coming up the Hudson. So I tried to share that, but I don't get any emotion out of anybody, really, kind of, you know. I don't know about the listeners. I try to paint a picture of New York, kind of thing. But I was pointing out that there was an episode or two in Sex and the City. I remember it was a big deal because Fleet Week officially started early 80s. It was
82.
About 82. And they made it a major event. If you're a New Yorker, you know, restaurants partnered, Broadway shows, we partnered, all kinds of dancing. They had things on ships. I don't even know if that still exists today. I would have to investigate it. Probably doesn't. But New York would pour out for Fleet Week. And then when Sex and the City did an episode or two about them dancing and going to meet sailors, that was probably, I think Sex and the City was definitely in the 90s. It kind of exploded the whole Fleet Week. And I know people that would go to these events and disappear for 3 days.
Yeah, we know who that is. I know who that is.
Not me. Don't.
No, not you, no.
Definitely no. But I'm still looking for some of these people. But I was trying to paint the picture of how exciting it was and honoring, you know, military. Nobody could buy a drink. Nobody could buy a dinner. Everybody took pictures. It was exciting. It was nice. It was welcoming. For a lot of these young people who never saw.
Be careful.
Can you imagine coming into New York when you're 18, 20 years old and seeing all this for the first time? I can't imagine. So anyway, I still think Fleet Week is somewhat exciting. When I saw a boat yesterday pulling in and I could see them in their beautiful white uniforms.
Yep. All along the periphery, the perimeter.
All along, I believe, saluting as they pulled in. It's patriotic. It was a feel good, and we need a feel good. I think everybody will agree with me with everything happening, and things only. I mean, once I'm getting through something or working on it, you know. For instance, I was sharing with you yesterday, Wisconsin. They've introduced a law where they want to relax child labor laws. So this is the new thing now. I can't write this stuff. I couldn't even imagine it. All right. And it's been going on a little bit. They did it in Ohio lately. They're introducing these bills. They want this legislation to pass. They want 14 and 15-year-olds now in Wisconsin to be able to work in bars serve alcohol in restaurants, and they claim, when I'm like, what? Why? Labor shortage. They claim so many people died from COVID, labor shortage.
Retirement.
They claim so many people retired during COVID,
Give me a
labor
break.
shortage. They claim, now I've got a feeling.
And who were they?
Can I don't even know if I can say this. I'm going to put a little thread together here. I keep asking every single day, the current occupant of the White House, his administration, they have admitted losing, it's now 88,000 children who've come over the border. 88,000. And I keep asking, where are the children? Where are the teens?
That's why they're missing, because you don't know where they
Well,
are.
but I keep asking, whether it's New York City officials, New York State, people in Washington, who are supposed to have the answers. Again, bipartisan, both parties, right? All of this child issues. Nobody can give me an answer. I'm beginning to think a lot of these children, we have something in the United States nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to face, and it's called forced servitude. And it's, you think of other countries. Not only do we have the human trafficking, the sex trafficking, we have a lot of kids right now enslaved, whether they're domestic helpers in people's homes, they're put out on the streets to do the forced begging, they're put in factories to work and on farms. We have so much of that going on here, and nobody's talking about it. So I'm thinking, oh, this will have to go for the illegal aliens. I call them illegal aliens because we want people to come here legally. These are illegal aliens. Everybody calls them migrants. And the media certainly does call them migrants as well. But I have a feeling they want to just be able to enslave these children and have them working all over the United States.
Or
I don't know. There's some kind of threat.
Or they want to completely destroy the notion of minority.
Well, that's what I'm getting to,
They
too.
don't want there to be
I'm getting to
children.
that.
Eventually, people are going to be marrying children. There
Right.
will be they can enter the contract.
That was my next thing. I
There
was
will be
getting
no
to.
such thing as you're a minor.
Right. They want to take that all away. It's just one big lump. Children with adults, no boundaries, no anything. I can't imagine. And now with AI upon us, remember it's here, it just hasn't fully been launched yet. I can't imagine what's going to happen with that. We can't handle what's called social media now and protection of children. I can't imagine with the onslaught of this AI that every tech expert says same thing to me, and that is it's a big question mark. That's all
They don't
say to me.
understand it.
These are the experts that, and they tell me everything's a question mark.
Let me ask a question. You ready for this? Let me ask you a question. Do you think that one day, when artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence, AGI, when it really gets humming, you're going to see songs, you're going to see these idiots who say, no, because you see, because right now ChatGPT can't do it. But remember, ChatGPT was just a couple of months ago. Nobody talked about ChatGPT. This is brand new.
Right,
It's just here. So right now, it's
Right.
it's a very kind of and it's basically predictive language. It's predicting the next word before you know it. Once it gets into recursive self-improvement, it can write its own code.
Well, that's why I say I'm afraid.
And it starts to, the power of it goes, you're going to see it come up with its own intuition. Something that happened recently, a while back, when a Google AI was being able to explain jokes, why things were funny.
That's why I'm scared.
Do you know what that is? So when you talk to these morons, these jadrules who say, no, I'm not
Well,
gonna
for instance,
worry
we have
about
a writer's strike right now, okay? And we have a threat of an actor's strike to go out in support of the writers, and we also have whispers of a director's strike coming. Now, I believe, everybody tells me I'm wrong, this is part of the plan to replace a lot of these writers, and that's so
Yep.
over bloated anyway, but we'll talk about that in a minute. You know, writers' rooms. Remember the writers' rooms where 20 people sitting around with like beanies on, trying to come up with jokes and all that kind of thing. But I believe writer's strike, now they deny it. No, AI will replace the bulk of writers. They might have a couple of people to add some flavor and nuance and all that stuff, but they're not going to keep all these people around. So budgets cutting, that's what they're going to do. They're going to be using AI. They'll have AI directors. They will do that. There'll still be a few people remaining, But this is a cost cutting. This is the future. It's here.
They will also be able to figure out, they will be able to write, they will be able to look at every script, every movie, every author, every comedy show, everything that's ever been done, put it together, collate it, filter through it, and say, oh, I see, this is called humor. And lawyers, a lot of lawyers, look what, you know what really showed me that? LegalZoom, if you want to have corporations done, LLCs, all that stuff, that's going to happen. And my friend who is a radiologist, you could forget it. They'll be able to scan and learn, and that's terrific. But these morons don't understand it.
Well, I think they're in, when something's bad, for instance, child trafficking, all of the, people don't want to face it. They put their head in the sand, right? So people just don't want to face. People don't like change. And that's what I try to teach every day, but it's here. As tough as it is,
Let me stop you.
We have to go with the...
Our dear friend Mayhemmer writes the following. I was a young person during the disco years. I love that music, still listen to it as I run on the treadmill. I was in love with Barry Gibb. I now love you and your lovely wife.
Aww.
See you on Twitter. Thank you, May.
Oh, May.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't make those noises, but thank you, May. Much appreciated. I don't want to make those noises.
The disco will never,
love disco.
Will never get Barry Gibb. Barry Gibb is a genius. Barry Gibb, please tell to our younger friends how big Saturday Night Fever was, what that was. And think about, John Travolta was responsible for that move, that disco really, and when he did Urban Cowboy, that Mickey Gilley,
that started that whole Western. That's right, in New York at least.
Well, all over the place.
No, but we don't have those kind of moments anymore. The Saturday Night Fever moment. We just don't.
Roller skating.
I don't. But it's not just nostalgia. These are like moments, iconic moments in time. I don't think today we have things like that. Do you? Where it's everybody coming together. That kind of maybe feel good. I don't know. We don't have it anymore.
In the 70s, right before 70s, after Vietnam, people were happy. Before AIDS, cocaine, really before cocaine, that was a little bit later, but still. To walk into something and see the light, the pounding, the dancing, it was innocent, it was silly, it was fun, and people enjoyed it, and people loved dancing. Stupid question. Do young people even dance anymore? Is there any dancing? I'm not trying to be dense here.
I've seen it when we've been at weddings where people put their hands in the air and jump up and down like this.
Well, that's at a wedding. But I mean, for example, is there a disco?
I don't think people go out dancing anymore. No. Not that I know about. It used to be a big thing. You go on a Saturday night dancing.
And when the DJ, when you heard that pounding, I was never... What?
You don't get I still get excited if I hear Saturday Night Fever. It makes me feel good. I don't know, if you've been doing some housework, put the music on. What do I always tune into in the background? 70s music.
And madrigal singing. And weird. But
70s music.
How about Casey and the Sunshine Band?
The lyrics weren't great, but I still like it. Boogie woogie.
No.
Boogie was a big word
boogie
in a lot of songs.
Down, boogie, boogie
was a big word.
The DeFranco family. Boogie, it's the Silvers. Boogie figure, boogie.
No, but a lot of songs had boogie in it.
Boogie, I got a boogie. You got a boogie. Boogie down. Boogie fever. Boogie nights.
I love all that.
Get on the floor and boogie. I
make no excuses. I love it all.
Everybody, please define, what is a boogie? I don't even know what the hell it is. But everybody looked for the boogie in the 70s. That's it. They wanted a boogie.
Isn't it like move? Like you boogie?
You tell me.
That's it.
Polyester pants. Platform shoes. I never got into that stuff.
Those were the days.
I
can still see it.
No, 70s to me was Zeppelin and rock
you
and great
that kind
jazz.
Of music. I was into the disco. You were into
jazz. Was really getting. I mean that Chick Corea and all that kind of jazz. But it was very good. I still think the song Boogie Nights is my favorite because it starts off with a harp. Very Wes Montgomery. Love that song. What about you? You love Jive talking. No, no. Oh, no. You know who she loves? ABBA.
I do.
Dancing Queen.
I love all those songs. Money, money, money. I'm sorry. I love it all.
Donna Summer was the queen of the disco. Donna Summer was incredible. Tell up a story about Donna Summer. Was very, very pious, very religious.
I don't know if I should reveal things.
She said it.
Okay.
And other people.
Oh, yes, she said it. I think she wrote it in a book. But she also had her husband was her manager, and he would force her to do a lot of things she didn't want to do. She started out in the church, as a lot of artists did.
Whitney Houston,
And,
sort of.
No, she did as well. But Donna always hated disco music. She wanted to do gospel, and she had this overbearing husband, and the rest is history.
Look at this. Don says, do you like bossa nova? Are you kidding
we
me?
do like that.
Are you kidding me?
We do like that.
Let me tell you who is... Jobim was... That's what I was... Tom Jobim was what I was raised... That was my first
We
music.
listen in, yeah.
João Gilberto, and when Oscar Gilberto, when they and Stan Getz. Now I love Deline Ferraz, Brazilian Love Affair.
What about these new kids that you introduced me to
Oh!
the other day? And I thought I was being thrown back into the 70s, and it gave me some hope out of young people. I didn't have time. That was just the other day to investigate or look some stuff up. But
I want you.
I thought it was from the 70s.
I want you. I found the name the other day. Jesus Molina.
Jesus Molina.
Jeez, this guy.
Oh, it's just one person
Watch
doing all
him
this?
play. I don't know what. I've never seen anything like this.
Is he playing actual instruments or is it synthesizers?
He
What is
he
it?
plays keyboards, and this BAM thing. Jesus Molina, and dear God, he is incredible. How about the Funky Knuckles we were playing the other day?
Yeah, we played that too.
Irel Besson, trumpet player, almost made me cry. The Brothers Nylon.
Yeah.
Jesus Molina, also. It is the greatest, funkiest.
Yeah, but listen,
it's
everybody needs more music, I think.
Tower of Power.
No, but music makes you feel good. It's an instant uplifting, I think, mood lifter. I think everybody needs a little more music in their lives.
Oh, absolutely.
And I also think children, well, we have the studies that prove any kind of music and art also increases everything else for them. They do better in life with music and art in their lives. And, creating something, critical thinking or performing kind of thing. So we need to do more of that because kids are being neglected in that area with the art.
Couple of things. Listening to Aubrey King, Flat Picking, you can't believe this. Also, there is a wonderful there is a channel I love. It's called Tone Based Piano. And there is a woman, I do not know her name. She's a transgender. Doesn't matter. I'm just saying that's beside the point. Who is great.
Little Rachel Levine looking there.
A little bit, but she's fantastic.
All right.
You've got to see, how about Lang Lang or Lang Lang? Have you seen Yuja Wang, this Chinese girl, play Flight of the Bumblebees? You can't believe what we're hearing. You can't believe the music.
Right, so there is a lot of good. People have to seek it out. There are some incredible
But
achievements with these young people with music. Of course, nobody knows it, seems to know about it.
This one, I do not. I just got to say this. As far as being transgender, it's one of those things where it does not matter. But this is one of the best. What is her name? Sarah. Anyway, she.
How do you know she's transgender? She
Because
says it?
came out.
says
Yeah,
it?
she came out.
Oh, okay.
She whatever.
Just wanted to know.
But she's so. It's like hearing the greatest music teachers ever, and to hear them explain and break down Bach, it's wonderful.
But don't you get amazed, and I truly mean the word amazed, that people are this creative and artistic and can do these things? I always find that very inspiring.
Here's something great. Now listen to this. They have villagers. I don't know who these villagers are. I don't know what villagers they are. It looks like Afghanistan. I have no idea. There's 6 villagers. You can watch villagers. I don't know where they are, but this is Hilarious. Watch villagers react to Three Stooges sing a song of Six Pants. And they're loving it, describing all the slapstick. It's come on, brilliant to hear them explain this.
You sure that's not a work?
No, well, it could be.
It seems like a bit
The
of a work to me.
villagers-
Nobody from
you
Afghanistan
look
is
at the
watching the
village.
Three Stooges. They're not allowed to. Okay, I don't think those are
Look
the
at this
villagers from
tone-based
Afghanistan.
piano. Here we go, another one. This is a guy named Gary something, teaching Yuja and Lang Lang. I've never heard of these people. This is the greatest exposition in music I've ever seen in my life. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I start off every day by listening to music. Every day I listen to a Nick Drake song. Every single day. It just does something to me. We when we're driving in the Yugo, it's a stretch. But to hear music and if we want to be in a great mood, Peggy Lee, Is That All There Is?
Well,
Kills us.
I hope nobody's watching us when we sing
Kills us.
along to the lyrics in the car.
It's one of the greatest songs ever.
Yeah, we love it.
Ever see Mongolian throat music? Love it.
Just give me the Bee Gees. That's all.
I love that. I also like. Remember when Bobby McFerrin? Nobody did that. That hitting himself kind of thing. Remember, he was the only one.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that wore so thin. I do not want to hear that. 80s is my favorite decade for music.
You know what? I at some point thought the 80s was a waste for music,
I don't
but
even know
now
what the
I've
80s
gone.
are.
Yeah, but now I've gone back. No, there was some really good music in the 80s. Remember we had that English wave, maybe like in the beginning of the 80s.
Oh, Pet Shop Boys and
They came over.
Woo-
No, but we had the Madonnas and the Cyndi Lauper, and we had the Tina Turners, and the Michael Jackson had all the Thriller. Remember Thriller?
Okay, Genesis, Tracy Chapman, Huey
No.
Lewis, Traveling Wilburys.
No, a lot of good
Steely
stuff
Dan.
came out of. I like the Highwaymen. When is that from?
Oh, you
Highwaymen.
love that.
When are they from though? Is that like
I don't know.
the 90s?
Robbie Dupree.
But there's a lot of good stuff out of the 80s. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Somewhere Down the Lazy River, Robbie Robertson, Michael Franks.
A lot of good stuff.
This is beautiful stuff. Remember The
I
Outfield?
feel like we should put some music on.
No, not here.
Not
Are you
not
kidding?
now. I said
not
later.
With this
I
copyright
didn't mean
stuff.
now. I meant later. I said
No.
put some music on later. Later. I said put some music on later.
Michael Franks, I loved him. The Bodines, Keith Whitley.
Let's find out what
thank
people are
God for
doing this weekend.
Tears for Fears. Let me tell you something.
I like Tears for
Levantrell.
Fears.
This Tipping Point, the latest one, and watch this Karina
Yes.
Round, the singer who. You should hear Women in Chains. Listen to her that. ELO. Oh, it was very good. Look at this. Love the Bee Gees. Bee Gees were.
No, the Bee Gees are my favorite with ABBA. I mean,
When they did
just
this song Alone is brilliant. The Andy Gibbs stuff they did.
It's so sad now because there's only one left.
He's it. St.
the oldest
Elmo's Fire.
I
Didn't you
love
love
it.
that?
Actually, maybe we should watch that movie tonight. That whole
Oh, we're going to watch a Mary Tyler Moore thing.
soundtrack from St. Elmo. But we had soundtracks that went with the movies. That was a whole 80s kind of
By
thing,
the way, a
too.
soundtrack is different from a soundtrack is an actual... The soundtrack is music that accompanied the film itself versus... There's another word for it.
No, but St. Elmo's Fire had a soundtrack. Because I
No,
bought the CD.
Let me try this again. Let me
The
try
songs
this
were
again.
in the movie, and then
The
they were on a CD.
songs that were in a movie is not technically the soundtrack. The soundtrack, somebody corrected me, is on the film. It's the music strip that is on the film itself, so that when you play it, it plays the music.
That's a little technical. The actual track. Well,
I'm just filling you in.
But it's always been just
Yes,
soundtrack.
I know what you mean.
That's okay. St. Elmo's Fire. Oh, there was another one too.
Ennio.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
how about this, Tino Baldassari? PFM. Premiata Funeria Marconi. Il Banchetto, one of my favorites from high school. I was really in this wild, great music. PFM, fantastic. Was it Zucchero? Yes. Remember Yes with Rick Wakeman? With Chris Squire, when the original group were there,
Remember Flock of Seagulls?
oh yeah, and the girl like you.
Remember their hairstyle?
And I wonder.
No, but it's kind of catchy when you really listen to it now.
Everybody Wearing Chung Tonight is beautiful.
I love that song.
Pet Shop Boys.
I love it.
Was
all.
it London?
Who was that?
That's
London.
How about the Motels? I was listening to her.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Martha Stewart, Martha Harris or Martha something.
It was good.
Fantastic.
It was good.
There's a song too I want to turn you on to. If you like this, it kind of reminds me a little bit about this. Very, very New York. He's a girl called Eddie.
You love that.
And The Long Goodbye is one of the greatest songs ever. And her name is Erin Moran. And that's the name of Joni. It's her name.
Joni died.
Yes.
Joni died.
But this is called A Girl Called Eddie, and I love her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is there? Oh, West End Girls, yes.
Oh, yeah. And East
My
End
dad used to
Boys.
talk about yes versus Rush arguments he had in college. You're right about that. Geddy Lee, completely different. Geddy Lee, Neil Peart, not Peart, Peart, the drummer. Geddy Lee was, by the way, you know my favorite Geddy Lee song was Great White North, Take Off, from the Bob and Doug McKenzie. I think it's wonderful. But yes was. How about Goldfinger and Living Like That? Goldfinger was Shirley Bassey.
Goldfinger. I think that was the 70s. That wasn't the 70s.
Lionel Richie, the best performer I saw in concert.
Now, did you see recently where they were knocking his coronation performance? And I didn't get into it because I've been busy
Something was
with
wrong
the
with
children.
him? Yeah.
But he was put on the performance for the big coronation party, and people were disappointed. I would have to hear and judge for myself that he could not sing the same way, I guess, all night long like he used to sing it.
Neil Peart, best drummer of the rock era, hands down. I think it's harder to find somebody better. He was just...
But I used to like Tom Tom Club. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like kind of those type of things also. Interesting.
Look at this great program. Thank you. You whammed my heart and made me smile. Oh,
Well, thank you.
I know this.
Got to take it down once in a while from...
Oh, Edie Brickell.
Oh, I love Edie Brickell.
What I lie to you is the Eurythmics. That's Annie Lennox.
I like that too.
But Edie Brickell is I Am What I Am.
Wasn't she dancing around barefoot, maybe slapping her thigh?
She's married to Paul Simon.
Yeah.
In Excess, funny song about this. There was we knew a disc jockey who did not know. He never saw In Excess, did not see this, and he said Inxus.
I don't know.
One time,
I could see the
Lawrence
mistake, maybe.
Welk read the prompt. He says, "Thank you, boys, for the wonderful music from World War I." 99 Aloof Balloons.
Oh, you love that song.
Nina's my age. Nina is.
Nina
that.
still sings 99.
Nina
She still
can-
sings it.
Nina's a great dancer. You're a great dancer. Belinda Carlisle's a dancer. You know.
We all that same style.
That
like
style.
a barefoot bohemian
Nina
style.
does it.
Right.
Belinda Carlisle. Goldie Hawn did it in Private Benjamin. She had that dancing style.
That was the style.
There was, you know who also is a great dancer? The girl who played Wednesday in the Addams Family. Did you ever see the little shuffle she does? Look it up. When she dances with Lurch, great. Also,
I'm starting to worry about you.
Travolta's
Where are you seeing
great.
these things? Online?
Oh, I know this. Travolta's great dancer. Glenn Shorrock from Little River Band, great style. Some people just have it. They just have a style. Somebody else. But you've got a good dance.
I do.
I can't. Well, except for this
I
one
don't
move.
know. You have one move that's pretty
one
good.
move that clears
The room. It
clears
does.
the room.
We save it for weddings.
Went to
when we
concert
go
at Tampa Stadium for one of those all-day concerts. B.B. King was the best. I was at Tampa Stadium, my first concert, 1973. Three Dog Night, Humble Pie, I think Buddy Miles. Three Dog Night. There was a riot. They had they burned. They tore up the
riot.
Yeah, they tore up the
Who's they?
some lunatics.
The concert goers had a riot.
Yeah, and years later, I was in my favorite pub, Irish pub, and who walks in but Danny Hutton from Three Dog Night. I bought him a drink and I said, "You don't remember me," because I was 12 years old. But there was a riot. He goes, I remember that. And we had to pay for it. Mrs. Lionel stepping out, watching movies by him. Miss Lionel stepping out, watching movies by himself. I don't know. Oh, Miss Lionel stepping out, watching movies by himself. I don't know what that means. Patrick Swayze was a great dancer.
He was a very good dancer.
Very good dancer. But Michael Jackson? Did you ever see anything like that?
No.
Never.
No.
I saw him. That was it Destiny? What was it with the last one with his brothers? 5 of them? Even Randy.
Yeah, they forced him. He was a big hit with Thriller or something, and then they forced him into doing the whole family. The 5 of them all went out on the road, whatever that was called.
I know.
Right.
I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
There was nothing like...
What a waste, though, right?
Horrible. There was nothing.
People have this kind of talent. And
Nobody danced like that. Nobody. What else we got here?
And today we have... I don't really know what we have today.
Wait a minute. Look at this. What? Just so you know, I was formerly known as Franco Blondie till somebody sent me away. Franco Blondie, yes.
Who sent Franco away?
White Monkey, is it? Milli Vanilli was actually very good.
That's a sad story, too.
Very sad.
Milli Vanilli. You know, plenty of people...
And Gino Vanelli, which sounds like Milli Vanilli.
In Millie's defense, or Milli Vanilli, so many people do lip sync. I'm sorry. I'll just leave it at that.
No, we're not going to mention names.
I'm not mentioning names. I'm just saying.
Not only that, you know this. Not only lip sync, but can't sing, and were auto-tuned and don't sing.
Well, I think that was what they were. There were other people singing, right, with Millie?
Yeah, well, no, it was them. Yes.
No.
Well, it was a recording. They were actually not saying it. It might have been another...
No, I think it was other people were actually the voices. That was the problem. But who called them out? Because there are plenty of people who do that, believe it or not. Wow.
John Lee Hooker. Nobody lip sync, if that's a word.
Yeah.
Lou Rawls, I'm just a natural man. Gino Vanelli is one of the greatest performers. And remember, always his drummers. His drummers are... Go ahead. I got to find this one drummer.
Well, I don't want everybody to laugh at me, but you know what I have to put on every once in a while to feel empowered?
The theme from The Sorrow and the Pity.
No. I know you know what it is.
No. I Am Woman.
Helen Reddy. I have to put Helen Reddy on to empower myself, to go out into the trenches, to do the work that we do. I have to
keep talking.
I have to play I Am Woman. I love it. Singing along. It's empowering.
She did a wonderful cover of Bluebird by Leon Russell.
Right, you're right. She did a wonderful cover.
Where is... I got to tell you this one. I got to find this name of this one drummer. Enzo Tedesco. Enzo Tedesco was the drummer who is a monster for Gino Vanelli. Gino Vanelli, if ever we got to see him. What was the last concert we saw? Steely Dan at the Beacon.
No, we had the failed attempt.
Oh, one time we tried to see Chris Hillman.
No, Westbury Music Fair. We had the failed attempt.
Oh, yeah. It was. Who was it?
It was Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates.
It was the worst.
Remember that? We
had a failed attempt.
Where we couldn't bring in a purse or something?
No, we bought the tickets years ago. It was like
went to Jones Beach. Jones Beach.
No, it was Westbury Music Fair.
No, Jones Beach.
Okay. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
It was only a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Jones Beach.
We bought the tickets a long time ago. And then the CO came. Everything was canceled.
The Rona.
The CO. And then they announced at some point, we're going to do this. And people still hadn't gone out in public and all that. And the parking lot, what was that, about a year ago? Maybe a year and a half ago.
Whatever.
We drove. The parking lot was massive, packed. Remember people were having those tailgate parties?
Playing Hall & Oates music.
In the parking.
To go see.
Well, they were happy after the CO and all that. They were having tailgates.
We'll get to the point where it...
And we came from somewhere else, and we were all dressed up. I remember you had a suit on, I had a dress on. I remember the whole
looked so
thing. I had
out of
high heels
place.
on. Right, and everybody was in the Hall & Oates outfits. And we had to walk so far to get to a staircase to bring you up to the venue. And by the time we got there, you couldn't go in.
No, the purse.
You couldn't have a purse, and you had to wear a mask during the concert.
Yeah.
And I was willing to try to go for it, but you said...
I said, nope.
I said, I'll put my purse in the car. I'll lock it away. And you just said, no, I've had enough. And we turned around and walked 5 miles back to the car. And didn't see Hall & Oates.
In West Tampa, it would be called empingado. I was empingated.
No, but how do you sing with the mask? So we never saw Hall & Oates?
That was it.
So that was... I really can't remember... anything.
But before that, Steely Dan at the Beacon. That was it.
That could have been 15 years ago. That could have been.
Remember the time I tried to see Chris Hillman at BB King's? Like I said, that's enough of that. I had to wait, or I didn't like. I did. Forget this.
Yeah, you weren't. I was willing to wait it out. I was willing to wait it out, but you said I've had enough and stormed off. BB King's.
I was empingado.
That was it.
I said I had enough of this. I said, I'm not. Listen.
BB's out of business
short.
now.
I'm not going. There's certain
BBs.
things I'll tolerate a lot of stuff, but sometimes that's it.
That was about a good 10 years ago too. That was a while ago.
Remember when we saw some great at the Feinsteins?
Oh, that was great, Feinstein.
Jimmy Webb.
Well, that was very intimate.
Who was the one? Barbara Cook. What was it at that little Manhattan? This little
down in
clubs?
the 20s.
That was these little jazzy place. Another one was Andrea Marcovici, who did the centenary of Johnny Mercer at the Algonquin. Wow. That was...
I don't think we have those anymore.
No.
They're not like they used to, or...
So anyway. Steely Dan, by the way, now that Walter's dead, I don't know what... now that it's the Dukes of September, and I don't know about that. Les Solak says, I wouldn't go to a concert if I had to wear a mask. Remember the old country song, I wouldn't take you to a dog fight, even if you had a chance to win.
But guess what? I don't think I'm that interested.
Right when I'm finishing the punchline, right when I'm...
Weren't you done?
No.
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, I don't have anything to say. I thought you were done, so
No.
I was going to say I'm not that interested in going into crowds. Just not.
At the Bensonhurst Knights of Columbus, Little Basil Fomini. I don't know what that is.
I don't know about Basil.
B.B. King at the South Street Seaport. B.B. King did not... by the way, Daryl Hall has a cool show. Live at Daryl's place. We used to go by in not Putnam.
I think it's Putnam.
Is it Putnam?
Going into Dutchess. But it's Putnam.
No, it's the one. Is that it? No, it's called... No, it's not Putnam. It's next to... It's in Putnam County. It's...
I think it's... We have to look.
We used to drive by Daryl's Place.
It's called Daryl's Place. But what happened to that TV show, or I should say streaming show now, not as I'm corrected in the business. Remember,
I think it was wonderful.
No, that show. He had the barn. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It was wonderful.
That was a good show.
Pauling, New York. Right there on 21 or something?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yep. Very good place. Very good venue.
No, it's like a bar and a grill. And...
He is Oh. Remember the time we went to see...
we went to see the other one. That was the last one we saw. I just remember
Mark
that.
Cohn.
We
No. John Oates.
John Oates was the last one.
At the City Winery.
That was the last one we saw. John Oates at the City Winery.
First it was the Blind Boys of Memphis or whatever. Remember that? That was the opening act. What if they weren't?
No, but it was nice.
Can you imagine having to name for the blind boy? You're not blind.
No, but that was nice. Don't you remember they had nice jackets on?
Yes.
No, it was very nice.
But it was Mark Cohn, who was married to Suzanne Vargas. I was going to say Suzanne Vega. Elizabeth Vargas.
She's on News Nation. She's on News Nation now.
Right. Walking in Memphis with my feet off a Beale. It's very good. So he did this anti-Trump joke, and nobody... I was surprised.
No, people actually went, ugh.
Yeah,
they made noise.
Yeah.
Which in New York City, see, there's a lot of people. That told me a lot. In that crowd, in that place, and it was packed, if you recall. and you could hear audible sighs, audible disgust
Yes.
coming at, and that was a good thing.
Alan Parsons, Garth Brooks, great. Stevie Ray Vaughan on the pier by the Intrepid. I have somebody sent me, maybe you did, I have a see that little film, that piece there?
Oh, yes, I see
Kodachrome. That's Stevie Ray Vaughan at the Intrepid. Somebody sent that to me.
that. Is it this person?
Yes, musical use. Pass the Dutchie. Wasn't that right? Pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side.
Pass
Love
the Dutchie.
this. Pass the Dutchie.
I remember Pass the Dutchie.
Remember also how great Rapper's Delight was?
Loved it.
That was. And before Rapper's Delight, the real first
I know what you're going to say.
Who?
Blondie.
Deborah Harry.
Blondie.
All right, that's it.
A
Listen,
little
you have
levity
fun.
on a Friday night. It's a good,
We didn't go to the movie. Isn't she great? Am I the luckiest guy
Thank
in the
you.
world? Am I the
I'm
luckiest?
the luckiest one. Thank you for having me. I thought I'd just sit here since we didn't go to the movies.
Oh, we're
and,
going to talk.
We'll talk about some music.
You know what? It's important. Don't you agree? It's important sometimes just not to.
Yes.
We're like Regis and Joy.
Well, I'm not sure about.
No,
I
but I
preferred
mean-
Regis and Kathy Lee, frankly.
Yes.
But
isn't it? But seriously, don't you feel sometimes like enough? Just
you have to walk away. Well, it's like I'm always preaching.
Yes.
Put the devices
Yes,
down for
that
5
she
or 10
is.
minutes a day.
Yes.
Including the adults, so
You
the
are
kids see.
preaching.
That's right.
Indeed.
We have to have family digital partnerships. We have to put the devices down. And if we talk about Pass the Dutchie, that's a good
Pass
thing.
the Dutchie.
And we're not on the devices. It's a good thing.
All right, friends. Have a great and a glorious night. You are great. Isn't she great?
Thanks for having me, everybody.
All right,
Thank
kiddos.
you.
By the way, please follow her at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Lynn's Warriors, please. And on YouTube, because we never get the numbers, and you got to help us out with this one. And Twitter, sign up for Lynn's_Warriors. All right.
I'm there,
You got
everybody.
that?
I'm there.
Thank you. I've met Kathy Lee.
Oh,
Can I tell you my quick Regis story? Just very quick. It's very sad.
poor Reg.
He was wonderful. We used to go to lunch at this place, Fiorillo's up
Nice
there.
man.
Across from Lincoln's. Love the guy. So I'm walking him back, and towards the end, he wasn't bad, but he was just not throwing his fastball anymore. And it's kind of feeling
Yeah.
So as we were walking by, right there on I guess Columbus, there's the Channel 7 building, and they have this little plaque, this frieze,
Doesn't
this-
really look like him, that plaque.
Not really, but
Not
anyway,
really.
it says the Regis Philbin building or whatever. So these people, I can see looking at it, and you can tell they're from out of town. So I walked up and said, "Excuse me," I said, "Did you like Regis Philbin?" "Oh yes." Now he's standing. They're not. If they just looked this much over, they would notice this guy standing behind me. It's Regis Philbin. But anyway, I said, "Wasn't he something?" "Yes." I said, "Did you ever meet him?" "No." I said, Doesn't he seem like a nice person? Like, if you met him, he'd be nice. "Oh, yeah." I'm serious. They were just gushing. I said, would you like to meet him? He said, "Well, of course." Well, here he is. And their face.
Gave them heart attacks.
I said, "Can I take a picture with you?" They couldn't talk. So it was wonderful. It made him feel good. It made them feel good. And I took their camera and I ran. I always pretend I'm running with the camera.
You always walk up to people and be like, "Would you like me to take your picture?"
Oh,
You do
yes.
it all the
I do
time.
it all the time.
I never do that.
Because it's
You do
very,
it.
very nice to do. Because
It
I'm
is
a
very
nice person.
It is very nice.
All right, dear friends, see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning. Same bad time, same bad channel. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. Good. That's it, Mark. Look at our picture.